So sponsorships. I just had like this morning, like the first idea, not the first idea, but one of the ideas I had was that I wouldn't mind if our first sponsor is legit like Scoop. Scoop Wholefoods. Yeah.
Do they even do sponsorships?
See, I'm not even sure. Like, it's just the idea I had to.
Why Scoop?
I think it stems from this. Like, I usually after shoots on Saturday. Today's a Saturday for our shoot day. I go to school, so it's if I there's association in that sense on the same day. So I look forward to. I don't know if it's a reward or it's just something I do because I have access to Scoop.
It becomes your routine.
Yeah. But
okay.
And also I just support them. I think it's like my friends brought it up that like I'm their number one supporter. If they looked at like the how many times I went to Scoop or whatever, how many items I bought from Scoop, I'm one of their I'm a very high patron.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Patron.
Then what is your what does sponsorship mean to you when you watch content?
What does it mean to me? Well, it's obviously funding.
Okay.
That's the first sort of.
So when you let's say like you watch Chris Williamson podcast, then hear a sponsorship, immediately first thought is funding.
Yeah, there's association with like Mr. Beast, everything. Like in the beginning, how he even got big was like the $10,000 or that he got from some, I don't know, honey or something to give away to the homeless guy, right? Like,
so using the funding to create more value.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we do need money to improve our production or our equipment, any sort of technical or the people side of things.
Yeah. You need to get a red camera.
Yeah, get a red camera.
But we got nothing else that can support that camera. Just get a camera and just leave it there for inspiration.
And our footage will, as we try to export the footage, then our computer dies.
Or we get a red camera here just as like background. It's just not even like get a real one just as like aspiration. A practical. Yeah.
One day we'll use that.
It's like the Graham Stephan, the lamp as like the signature backdrop. Yeah. Probably you get some sort of lamp, it'll look better.
We definitely want to decorate. I mean, originally my idea was legit just a little snake plant or something, or a snake plant for air purification, just deionization, whatever.
So that's why we need sponsorship. So for any brands out there that you like our message,
sponsor us, please.
Reach out in the description, the email in the description below.
Yes. Yeah. It's a matter of time only.
Yeah.
Considering we are continuing for the entire year at least. That's like the baseline, right?
Yeah. I asked that question about what does like sponsorship means because there are like different views when people come across sponsorships. Like some people will think that, oh, you're such a sellout for like adding all this stuff, wasting my time, whatever. But it's always a give and take. Like when you watch content, you're either paying in terms of like time, watch time, whatever, or you get all this sponsorship so that we don't need to like spend time capturing your attention and wasting your time. But in the like there are levels to this as always. There are those type that you become like a patron, you straight away just dive like courses and communities where you straight away get what you need. And there are long form that you can just listen or skip through some sponsorships and you get more of the unfiltered kind of wisdom. And there are those videos that you have to sit through ads, you have to spend even longer time on like things that are just raise your dopamine and doesn't really give you that much value. So kind of have to pick your poison. Then a lot of audience...
It's about how much you want to sell, the ratio.
A lot of audience don't really care about. They just want free stuff. They want everything but without the cost. They don't want people to sell to them. So
but there is no free lunch. Like, in a sense, we have to. Cash flow is the most important thing in a business, and like it or not, this is a business we have to sustain.
So organization, even non-profits, they have to find a way to get profit first so that they can reinvest the profit back into the actual like day-to-day operations. Because now we are just paying out of the pocket, which is fine because it's fun
for now. But
yeah,
especially if you want to scale, that's why we cannot keep it at this level. We continuous improvement, right? That's why we want to, and that is a natural progression for us.
Yeah, that's why I think sponsorships, as looking at it as funding with a bit more explanation that we just did, it makes sense because we really need to navigate, like need to find a balance. So the only thing you can do is through actually trying to do all these things. Because I think a lot of people with different resources, they'll be able to have different strategies. But for us, we are literally just coming into this just wanting to do it. We just have the desire. But how we execute this vision, this desire, we have to find along the way.
It is not becoming a starving artist. This is some Denko idea or post where you want to pursue your passions, but then learn how to persuade people, learn how to monetize your passion, so you're not starving. Yeah. So soon we'll be doing ad reads. Thank you to AG. Start listing all the brands. Yeah.
Monkeyscape.
This is cost-free education. So in a sense, we do. It's a sort of small price you have to pay. Most people like skip through the ads, like read portion. If you have it at the front or the back, or in between, like Chris Williamson, his one is every few, like the conversation will just cut off and then it'll be like, let's get back to the show. There's like a countdown thingy at the side. Don't know what we're gonna do in the future, but
definitely I think for me what it means to me is that this person is getting paid. So I do like whatever you say don't have other, like there's no other hidden agenda, at least not that heavy, because some things that are free is heavily like connotated with other agendas, like, oh, if you watch this sooner or later I'll sell you something you don't need. So if they are getting paid through sponsorships, and if the sponsorship makes sense, like one thing I want to make sure is that for integrity, it's both our values. We will never like get something that we don't believe in.
Sell out.
Yeah, like we actually need a product that provides value to us, to you guys. Then we will consider Scoop. He actually uses it a lot, and I don't use it as much, but definitely I see the potential of it. And for people that want to invest more in their health or whatever,
yes.
then that sponsorship makes sense, although it's a bit pricey.
We will have to. That's why we have to analyze every single offer that we have and actually see whether it aligns with our brand, aligns with our morals, stuff like that.
Have to analyze the incentives
before we sort of try to share it or put it onto you, right? Sell it. It's like selling a product that I am comfortable with, in a sense, or I use personally.
It's the win-win concept. The brand win, we win, and the viewers win as well.
If we want to advocate for something, it has to be not just for the money. Money is it secondary? I think it is secondary. Only want to push out or be a platform. We are just becoming a platform to sort of sell their products for them, right?
One thing I'll talk about is, like, we talk about funding for content. So it leads me, I have this like thought going on that, is personal branding a real business? Because now what we are doing is kind of just branding. Like, without us, this podcast won't be the same thing anymore. Like, for example, you watch Hamza. Without Hamza, there's no business there. So is it still a business?
Without Hamza, there's no business left.
Like personal branding versus like the traditional business.
I suppose now it is just about the creator economy. So we are in a stage where, I don't know, creation is just, content creation is,
It's economy, but it's still not. The system still cannot function without you. So without you working in it, do you still get piece of the pie?
if it is personal brand,
Mm.
obviously you have to be a part of it because it is just you, in a sense.
Yep.
Can you detach yourself from it? I don't think so, obviously.
Definitely
More
not.
normal brands, there are products and everything. Like building a company to sell, you can. That's why systemize, as a boss, you start off, or entrepreneur, you start off wearing many hats. Then you slowly outsource, realize that, oh, this is not my point of highest contribution, and then you just give it to someone else. You need to start. That's why expanding, most companies, when they expand, they get a lot of employees, start increasing
Delegation.
delegation.
They start to delegate the work that is not their highest leverage task to someone else that are better than them at that thing.
So that they can give 100% of their effort, and then you can put more of your, because in beginning 25, splitting many hats. As a content creator, we wear so many hats, like editing, camera, talking, stuff like that, designing.
Yeah. And as like the CEO also, like there's a chance that none of us here can be the highest leverage is not actually to be the one running all the operations as well. That's why a lot of companies, the founder actually hires CEOs.
There's like Linus Tech Tips, he became the creative director or something. But
that is very, very far ahead. Because when you first start, no one would be the CEO of your company if your company hasn't.
It's not profitable.
Yeah. You need to have the authority, you need to have the resources to hire. Yeah.
But it's sort of building it in a sense where you're not having it all chaotic. So that when it gets to that stage, so building for that future stage.
But someone recently told me that some of these like YouTubers, they have like school communities and stuff, but those are not really business. Yeah. But the thing is, the thing you do inside is basically what a business person will do. Just that the end goal might be different. So if I guess now that I think about it, a normal business require the founder to build it up, build systems, hire, delegate. Then at the end, if they sell, they have to like hand over to the new company, whoever that bought them over. But for a personal brand, you just skip out a few steps, just that you can't really sell it. Like no one will buy a personal brand unless you are planning to stay in the business. Yeah.
I mean, it is meant to be just you, personal.
Yeah. So
detach.
The compensation will be higher, but you lose the liquidating, the selling of the company part. So I think it amounts to about the same. If you really like based on your own strategy and what you plan to do, how you strategize the monetary gain or the returns, your amount to the potential will be about the same. If you do the best in becoming a entrepreneur, a business builder versus a content creator or a content business, the returns will be the same given the amount of effort. It's just which one you prefer more.
I suppose it is also reputation. Like creator, as a content creator, branding, everything, personal brand, you have more, you're putting yourself out there more than just a corporation.
Yep.
A corporation more has, I guess there is a veil, there's a name to be under. And as a content creator, you can have stage names. That is quite normal. But when you fail, you're failing in public. So all your, I guess, flaws or mess ups are public, and reputation is, you can build it, but one thing can cut it out. Whether you get cancelled or, can you be cancelled now? Now there are Andrew Tate and Liu Biao, they have all this, it's just forcing because people can sort of silence you, but with short form content distribution, you can just pump it to the point where they cannot silence you, in a sense.
And you also have to deal with the fact that you think that you are more important than you are. Then when you put yourself out there, then you start to be less and less relevant.
Mhm.
That could hurt your ego. And it requires time, healing, all this journaling to handle that part of your psyche. So it's a different type of challenge. A serial entrepreneur got a lot more challenges in terms of like, how do I create systems that I can sell, that can function without me, can do well without me. That itself is another challenge. So it's like, it's always just mental bandwidth spent on different things. But the outcome for most people will still be to get some monetary gain while having impact. Like if you build a business, you are feeding the people, then your business needs to have value in order for it to survive as well. So it's always a give and take in different scenarios, even as a producer.
There are many paths to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
So it's about whether you want to put yourself out there or do it in.
Mhm.
Because there are many ways to make impact on the world. It's not just, oh, we're out here giving free value and so we're better than anyone. There are people who, it's like the real sort of impactful people, they stay behind the scenes. Like it's always like with, there are a few examples, but I'm not sure if they're correct in a sense. There are always, is this idea of, there's always like a front person who sort of is the face of the business, so brand. And then there is the second in command that actually, most of the time, they have a lot of impact on businesses as a whole.
Yeah, the glue that holds everything together.
It's like Charlie Munger, a few others. I'm not sure Steve Jobs had. There are all the number twos that basically really do a lot, but they are not the front face of the business.
Yeah, because a lot of people are trying to shift because of how content are now. We are incentivized, or even just for virtue signaling, we want to be the creator instead of the consumer. We want to be the producer instead of the one that just consume all the time. Because we all want to be important. That's one like human psychology fact that all humans, we all want this thing that to feel important, to feel that we have some sort of meaning in this life. Could be we cannot comprehend the fact that we are just like living organisms that one day will just die. Then it's just part of the whole like what planet Earth is going through. Like one day all of us get wiped out and stuff. We don't like to comprehend that. So we want to seek meaning. And to seek meaning, we need to feel important first. You feel that whatever things we do day to day will have an impact into the future, impact to someone else's life. So we all want to move towards that. Like in a sense, it's doing good in terms of like making life more interesting. Like I guess I believe most people now have this nihilistic kind of phase to think about if everything like one day will end, then you
What's
really
the
think
point?
about it, nothing really plays a important role at all in anything. Because one day everything will end. So what you do now, this current moment, we keep saying current moment is very important, but a lot of people will think, oh, if in the end everything will be gone, is it really important? Or if I just go ahead and murder people, is it important?
I mean, like it or not, you do have an impact on the world
But
in
it's
the
gonna end
present.
in the present, yeah.
In the present.
Mm-hmm.
So you have no idea how much impact. I think we've covered this before. The multiply effect, where
Mm-hmm.
1% away from a million, 2 people away from a billion, and you can never really know how much, like one small action, if you do it or you don't do it, that could trickle down, butterfly. But then it is not letting that affect you too bad.
But what if by not doing that one or two things, the end outcome is still the same? Someone else will step up and do the thing.
But I suppose it is about whether it is meant for you. So is it what you were meant to do? And you only have so many opportunities to sort of do, like, do you believe you have a reason? That is also one of the things, right? Questions people ask themselves: do I have a reason for being?
I address this because I had this phase 2 years ago where I seen a lot of progress in terms of like self-improvement, losing weight, learning, like habits change. But it comes to this point where I feel that I start to see things in a clearer way, like cause and effect. But the thing is, at the end of the day, everything will end. Then I got into, I wasn't depressed, but I do feel a bit down all the time. Like, what's the point anymore? Then I started to to seek answers online, to journal and like journal my existence. Basically, it's like they call it what, quarter life crisis, midlife,
Existential crisis.
existential.
I also had many.
Yeah. So the way I got out of it is think of it as just like a video game or a movie. That you are just writing a storyline. It's better to just enjoy a storyline that you yourself like. So if you out there like you secretly want to be a villain or whatever, like I'm not trying to condone villainous act or whatever, but if that is really your calling, whatever, that will make your story the most interesting. It just gives someone else the opportunity to be a hero.
I mean, everyone has sort of
Calling.
no, because there are redemption arcs and everything. That's why looking at your life as a story, which it is, that is how you sort of add meaning to everything, right?
Yep.
You have to zoom out, see the bigger picture. That's why zooming out too far, in a sense, Alex Hormozi talks about it. He talked about it on the like Chris Williamson's podcast a bunch of times. Where if you zoom out far enough, you're just a tiny speck. There's all the videos where they start from very like zoomed in, and then they slowly zoom out, and then you see how like the entire galaxy, universe, whatever. So yes, that is reassuring in a sense, but you are still you look at the world through your lens, and yeah, you have to still go through life. You cannot just because you're a tiny speck do nothing, because it is about how you impact the people around you, and yeah, what you do as a tiny little speck, maybe. Because a tiny little speck, it can still, don't know, if a bunch of them form together, you don't know what sort of impact, you really do not know the impact that you can have.
So your advice is just have faith that whatever you do, as long as aligned with what you want to do, you have an impact. And the thing is, combined with what I say is just make your story interesting. Just treat this as a movie that you're watching.
Yeah.
And you don't want the movie to be just boring stuff all the time. And most of us, we grow up with because human beings are so complex and we communicate a lot. We have a lot of influences around us. Our desire, our stories, what we truly want, our core being is influenced by that also. So everyone will be quite different in that sense. So like everyone will have a unique way of looking at life. Of like, let's say I want a combination of like I'm a car person, but I'm not like if I got the money, I wouldn't want to spend money on like private jets, things like that. There'll be a combination of all this. And some people don't really like all this materialistic stuff, but they want their meaning to be in terms of how much time, money, effort they spend on like saving the world or what is the word? Doing good. What is the
philanthropic?
Yeah. So some people get their meaning from there, derive their meaning from doing philanthropic work.
I suppose that's where you attach meaning to human being, human doing, human having, possessions, actions, or just yourself existing, which is just like comprehending your own existence as a whole. Hormozi has this I guess because this topic he has covered quite a bit. If you want to what his missions of mission statement is, or how he wants to live life, is just to have a super like do epic shit. So live a epic life. For me, I don't know. I think it's more I want to do epic stuff, sure, but I think I lean more towards fun, like the fun story to tell. Like I want to have fun along the way, stuff like that.
Because through you having fun and you influence people around you in the sense that people see what you're doing, people see how you're living, how you're feeling, and they get inspired to do the same. So sometimes it's just about doing the best you can at the things you want, and that will have enough impact to actually the 1 million, 1 billion people that affects as a result of you.
And it's really being lighthearted, being able to laugh at your problems, being able to bring joy to people, whether it's through humor, everything. Working super hard and really just being super serious.
But you have
I think it's just not me personally.
Unless you can do that while having a good character and still positively impacting people around you from the day to day, which unless you have that thing in you that want to be super serious since young, is
upbringing.
So it's also upbringing, like the cards that you're dealt with. Some people can manage both. They can be the super serious thing when they need to. Then they can be they have good characters still, and they still like make people around them better. Like I know of some people in the working in the military that they are super. They call it ups. Basically, they are very competent, but they're also good people. They don't just bring their trauma into other people's life, or they bring people up, although they are super serious all the time. And you can see these type of people, although you might not want their future, but you know they have good character and you can learn from them. Yeah. So it really depends on, it's just doing the best with the cards that I dealt with. So for us, I'm not sure about you, but for me, I think the way that I would derive a lot of meaning in my life is to just create content, because creating content, even whatever you say might not be the universal fact. Somebody might have an opposing view with you, but your intention is to help people. It jogs people's thinking. It gets people to have conversations on things that is important. So as soon as you're talking about things that are important, that can improve their alignment with where they really want to go, I think that is something that I really will enjoy. And like I want to have interesting storylines, like traveling, all this content can help with that. Yeah, so I don't really, and there's a huge crossroads ahead that I don't know, like we all don't know. There's a chance that one day I might not be a content creator, I might be a serial entrepreneur, like what I just said. I just build businesses and sell them, and I find joy, I make that my art. But it might not be, it might just be content creation until I choose to retire and disappear from online, then have my kids and my future generations to be strong or whatever. Like once I feel that this chapter is complete, this layer of purpose is done, maybe the next layer of purpose will not have anything to do with content. So it's about just taking the next step. For us, now I think it's the podcast. But for you, what is your rough estimate of like your current layer of purpose?
Current layer of purpose.
Like how you find meaning in life now?
Meaning in life now. Okay. Those are very, to me, they are kind of,
like you briefly mentioned epic stuff, but also lighthearted. Do you have a better way to package this? Yeah.
I suppose it is just the mission in life as a whole. And recently I just, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the mission statement, I came out with mine.
Okay.
I'm not going to share it because I don't know, it's personal in a sense.
But you should have a lot of character traits inside, right?
Character traits.
Do you focus on?
I mean, recently I've also journaled about like what sort of man I want to be, and also what kind of partner I want. There's all this stuff I want to talk about on the podcast also, but maybe future episodes. There's a bunch of stuff I want to do, but at the end of the day, I'm laughing because I'll explain. So purpose here on Earth, you may like zoom out. Hormozi talks about it. 3 generations down, and like no one will remember your name. But the thing is that if you don't even have, if you don't have a child, then there's no bloodline. I think this is a topic that you like talking about. But then there's no 3 generations down. What can you actually leave behind now with content, it's more out there. You can put it on the internet, but now a lot of people are also doing that. So you're harder to find your content in a sense. You can only focus on the impact that you have with that one video. So if one person saw that video, and it's how you treat the one that shows how you treat the 99. So you're seeking for the person that you can actually help. Yeah.
And the thing is, even if it doesn't, you won't be remembered 3 generations down, but you know that you had an impact, a positive impact on that person 3 generations after because of what you did, because of the impact, whatever your business they built or whatever. So what Alex Hormozi is talking about, is speaking to, is those that are really egocentric. They want to be perceived as something. Of course, those who are,
that's why, obsessed over the tiny details. Yeah.
So like what you said, it's just focusing on the person that you can help, because that person that you help, that you provided value, once you find that person and you actually do the thing, like you spread an impact, he will move on to help other people or his kids, or he'll have a good life as a result of your small little action that you did. Because at that point of time, it's like a puzzle, the jigsaw puzzle. It just fits like what you can provide and what he needs.
All falls into place.
Yeah, fall into place. And at any time, you also even need someone else's help. So it's always just human is just super interconnected. Yeah. So it's just focusing on the current moment, what you can do and who you can help, and what do you need to help them better.
I suppose at the end of the day, it is all about the story you tell yourself.
Yeah.
So
definitely,
if you can know that you managed to help someone, or at least see that someone is doing changing for the better, improving, then because you can never know how much impact you have in a sense, but as long as you know that one person has you're setting off a chain of maybe better events compared to worse events. You're doing something instead of not doing anything.
Yeah.
To me, when a voice in my head, conscience, tells me to do something, that's why I want to. I feel like it's my sort of duty. Yeah. If you did the ocean test, there's dutifulness, something. One of those aspects, and mine is quite higher. So I feel like it's my
duty to roll the snowball towards the right direction.
Yeah, snowball effect.
Towards the positive direction. And so it becomes bigger and bigger. And even if no one knows who started to roll the first little snowball, doesn't matter. As long as you know it. Yeah.
It's with doing everything, it's what? Yeah, it's a story you tell yourself.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow through on something, then you yourself will know it.
That's why when all the self-improvement videos talk about purpose and ask us to figure out, I tried to journal. I couldn't find. I was really quite lost, but I realized at the end of the day, I started listening to more podcasts and stuff. Doesn't matter. I just selected one that seems logical to me, because by right purpose, you're not supposed to really know it word to word.
You can never have it in your mind, know it.
It's more like an emotion or how it feels about something, but it's not logical. It's more like
psychological.
Yeah, you need to feel inclined at that point of time to do something. That's kind of like a purpose. For me, I just chose one logical one that I think makes sense and it's fun, which is Bloodline-Maxxing. Bloodline-Maxxing, just talk about bloodline. It's just very simple. Just make sure that you are improving, so that not just your genes, your biological thing or whatever, you're also accruing more. If you believe in cause and effect, that you just do more of the cause that give you the effect that you want. And because of that, your future generations can benefit as a result of your effort now. So it could be a lot of people think that, my genes, I'm weak, I get sick easily or whatever. Then why not just find a way to slowly evolve?
Shift it towards. So if you don't think that you are, if you're not, I guess you don't accept the way that you currently are now.
Yeah. Okay, let's just give an example, Asian versus white people. White people, usually they are taller, they have more physical capability, they have bigger frames. So instead of just saying, that's it, you think, of course, human evolution takes time. It could not happen in, my kids, there's a chance that they might be bigger, taller, or whatever because of my current effort, but it might be 5 generations down. So you think, what do I need to do now? Build a habit to build the musculature, build the habits to be able to move towards that direction that you want. Physical strength, basically prowess. How strong, how much stamina you have physically.
At the end of the day, you can never control the outcome. All you can control is the input. You
Yeah.
cannot control the output, so the result. That's why setting goals, if you set like goals that are very outcome based,
Yeah.
then it may not be the best because you cannot control other people, everything. So it's controlling yourself, the input, increasing the odds of you succeeding. That's why luck and everything. It's just you just want to position yourself properly,
Yep.
set yourself up, do the things that you can do,
Do the things you can
and
do.
then skew your probabilities towards a better future or better present for the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is why kids as a whole, you can do a lot of things to sort of optimize for kids before and layers of purpose. That is probably one of the later ones. But for now, we have to focus on what purpose we have now. Yeah, what I can do to reach towards that. So that's the sort of future vision. I guess being a father,
Yeah.
and I was laughing about it just now, but that's because Chris Williamson, he recently posted like his newsletter or just a post where he talks about how girls or women who find actually guys who like are very public about it or state that they want to become a father, like they find them more attractive.
Oh, right.
It's like some study or something as well. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. And
it's not even like you don't even need to say it out. Just you wanting to be a father, you'll be deemed more attractive by most girls.
father signaling.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just want to like address this, not address maybe just pose this question to everyone, including the viewers and you, is that if you think in the way of like bloodline-maxxing, there should be, if you really like use the question like what's the one thing you can do to ensure your bloodline can get better and better, because you know that the one thing is not just earning money. A lot of people earn money but their kids become terrible human beings, then the bloodline ends somewhere, or they have to restart everything, they lose everything, they have to restart. So like what is the one thing that you can focus on that make sure to enhance the anti-fragility, which is a concept about, let's say like you have a package that's labeled fragile, means that you shouldn't throw it around. A robust item, if it doesn't say fragile, if it's a robust item, you can throw it around but it won't break. An anti-fragile item invites you to
withstand
withstand
pressure.
As a result of that pressure, it wants you to throw it around, because as a result of throwing it around, it will get stronger. So we want to have a bloodline that can withstand and thrive as a result of all these attacks, all these challenges that they face. Like let's say AI take over the world, whatever. Like how do you ensure your bloodline can deal with that? Like you don't know what challenges are ahead for you, for your bloodline.
But you can increase the odds.
Yeah.
Parent a child that can be strong enough to withstand that.
So I have an answer, but I urge everyone to think about this first.
I also have an answer, but yeah.
So what is the one thing that you think we should all focus on?
Okay, focus on now or in the future? Okay, they're sort of the same. My answer is the same. Just be present. Because for us guys especially, parents, fathers, the one thing that sort of affects a child is their presence, whether they are able to be fully present. So some parents, some fathers, don't have to limit it to just fathers, but they are not present in their kids' lives, or if they are present like physically there, they are not mentally there. So time, energy, attention, their time is spent with the kids, but it's not quality time. Their attention and energy is elsewhere, maybe focusing on work, focusing on money. That's why having to worry about money as a whole, a lot of people who are less fortunate, their families are also not the best. As a cause of the money problems, they have to worry about money. Or if the parents, their relationship is not
if money is a constraint towards survival.
Or their parents, their relationship is not, there's no love flowing in there, then there is no trickle down to the
Yep.
kids as well.
Yeah, that's why I think presence is important. Like, if I believe most people haven't read The Power of Now, but it talks a lot about how the importance of being in the present, being in the now. And it's not just for Bloodline-Maxxing, but just for general happiness. If you're not present all the time, you are never really living. You're always just in your head.
You're always just reminding yourself of a past memory or being anxious about a future memory.
Yeah.
So if you're focused, you're not focusing on now.
If you're not in the now, then you're not really. You will never really feel the emotions that is true to you. That is actually like your entire body is experiencing. So you're always just making up things. My answer on top of presence is more on it's kind of the same but different at the same time, because you still need presence to work on this, but it's more on the one thing you can do to impact your bloodline in a positive manner. To me, is building your character. Because with weak character, with character that doesn't serve like the anti-fragility of bloodline, like if you're greedy, if you want quick cash, you don't really value, like, let's say, industry as a character, which means like hard work or whatever, then you can't really pass down all these traits, because humans, we still learn through like imitating when we are young, like age 0 to 7, then 7 to 13, we are still just learning through imitating, learning through observing. We don't really like. That's why a lot of parents, they ask the kid, "Oh, you need to work hard, or you shouldn't."
Our camera died.
Yeah, you shouldn't smoke or whatever. But they are the one smoking. They are the one doing all the bad habits.
Mhm.
But their kids still do whatever they did. Then they question like, why I told them the right thing. Because kids, a lot of them, they learn through imitating, and they imitate the character. What kind of person you are? Are you honest? Do you say what you do? Do you practice what you preach? So working on character is very important, because if you have integrity, if you have courage, all this, and to build all this, you need to be present. So if you have all this, your next few generation will be able to handle most of the things that you throw at them, or life throw at them. Yeah. So character building is one of the things that I think is very important, and it'll make the whole storyline more interesting as well. Because to build character, you cannot have like every day doing the same exact routine to get that, and you also cannot just have no challenges. So it will be a mix of good times and bad times, which is what
Yes.
what when you're present you will get also. You get good times, bad times. You just have to stay present, stay in the now, and finally just deal with that. Yeah.
I suppose my own sort of frame I use is that I do not really care what people think, what you think, especially. I care more about how you think. So you want to reverse engineer or be able to, I guess, find out how people think, because everyone thinks differently, thinking habits. That's why I care about more how you think. So no matter the context that gets thrown at you, what challenges, circumstances, you can handle it. So like raising a child that is able to solve their own problems in a sense.
So for people out there trying to pick new friends or
New friends.
partners or whatever, try to, like, your conversation should steer towards understanding how the other person think. Where are they coming from? Their intentions, their moral compass, all this quite important, because if there's a misalignment in that, there'll be a lot of challenges ahead for you. And because frankly, that's just not a good match if you guys really have very, very opposing ways of looking at stuff. In the sense of not just your frames, but the layer before that, which is your intentions, how you view the world. Like, some people just think that you just have to earn money and you just have to rise. Like, it's a zero-sum game. You need to be top of the food chain in order to survive. Like, that's the most meaningful thing. And for some other people, they just want to, like, for us, we agreed on like maximizing impact, because we think that monetary gain, whatever, it will come. But if we are doing what we feel is right, what we are having fun doing, generally is something good, the whole entire process, it will just be like a byproduct, like needing to edit, talk about all these topics that we talk about at the start of the podcast. It will come natural because we have something that ground ourselves. We have our values, our character. Yeah,
it is setting that vision up, and then I guess occasionally caring about the most of the successful people, Elon Musk, whatever, they have the vision or dream first of the impact they want to accomplish, and then from there they find the financing part like secondary. So really, finances secondary compared to the impact.
So I guess that's why a lot of the schools, they actually teach a lot about character. Like in school songs, anthems, all have courage, humility, all this stuff. But the thing is, the execution is wrong. The teachers themselves don't understand all these values, or they don't teach it enough. Of course, there are like examples of like really good teachers with good characters that actually teaches the students what does it mean to be a person of this character.
But they're quite rare.
They're quite rare. And
it all trickles down from the top. Yeah. That's why hierarchies are.
And the bad thing about having all these character traits in our education system, but not having the right way to teach it, is that people start to treat it as wallpaper. We see it so often, we sing it every week, but the thing is we don't understand it, we don't know the importance, we don't have a vision to associate with certain things. Then we cannot imitate, we cannot focus on that, cannot focus on building that particular character. So for Bloodline-Maxxing, for even like our current moment, this present moment, with your co-host, with your partner, business partner, if you are able to really discuss about character building in a way that actually has an impact, I think that is something that's like the one thing that got a lot of returns in your time, in what you are focusing on. Because like we said, everything will fall into place. So if you really focus on the small things that will already fall into place, if you focus on the right thing, then there's no leverage.
Aim at the right thing.
Yeah, aim at the right thing.
It is just, if you have time to focus on your appearances, everything. So it's outward, like personal development, self-improvement. Most of the stuff is just what looks maxing. Can cover that next episode if you want. I don't know. If you are interested in stuff like that, you can leave feedback in the comments. There's all this outward appearance, focusing on the outward appearance, how you look to others, goals, attraction, that sort of thing. But if you yourself are not working on your inside, your development of your character, like that is the thing that is really, it will bleed into everything else. Like, people finding partners, they look more for, I don't know whether I cannot really categorize the average person, everyone in culture now. But if you want quality in the sense of good character, that is like, I cannot say. Does like attract like? No, but people of good character will obviously want to go towards. Attraction as a whole, relationships, right?
When most you focus on the same thing, then you will find a common ground. Like somebody that is just looking for partners for their own pleasure will not attract another person that wants to focus on their future generations, if that makes sense.
If you have different misaligned visions, then it will not work out. In the end, that's why relationships that break off, because they see a different future in a sense.
So compatibility in that sense works well when you guys have the same, I guess, like purpose, like the same category of purpose. Like if it's just self-pleasure, then another person that focuses on self-pleasure will be comparable to you. Yeah, I think that is what the whole idea of finding a comparable partner, not just romantically, but in your life, even your friend groups, all this, that's a very important thing. You really need to understand that.
Short-term people sort of go together with short-term people, dating culture, hedonistic, short-term relationships as a whole. Then there's long-term people prefer long-term people because there is that alignment. And there's like a short-term relationship versus a long-term relationship, right? The things that go into these like are super different. There's so much like loyalty, faithfulness, stuff that you cannot sort of see in a short-term relationship. And to me, there is more meaning in building something that will last longer, whether it's kids, everything, than short-term dating culture. So personally, I'm dating to marry. I don't know. Yes.
I'm dating to have a strong bloodline.
Same. It's yes, future. Can you build a bright future? You can skew the odds towards it.
The only thing that I have when we talk about all this that came into my mind immediately is I know of people that do not know what they want, or they haven't really think about it. And as a result, sometimes they might have thoughts that are aligned. Sometimes they might have thoughts that are just come from their monkey mind, whatever they want in the current moment. Like they might do something that delay gratification, that build them body, that look max or whatever. But they don't know what is the primary motivation, the core motivation, the thing that moved the needle. It's not their character, but they don't know what is it. So those are the people that I feel are quite dangerous, because if they don't know what they want and you spend your time, effort, energy, the TEA, attention on them, building a friendship or whatever, then one day they somehow discover that it's not the same as yours. That is when it's quite dangerous. Because you were born, you will build a relationship with somebody if you spend enough time doing things that you enjoy, going through hardship together. But if they don't find out what they want or what is their primary motivation, I think that's very dangerous. Because there are people out there that seriously, they are really improving, but they don't know what is their core purpose.
I suppose it is, from The Way of the Superior Man by David Data.
Mhm.
If you do not know your purpose, then you cannot live with coherence, with integrity in this world. Because, okay, if you know what someone is like aiming at, align to, like you can see, you know their goals or their dream, their purpose, at least like to the best of their ability, what they can get to.
Yep.
Then you sort of can trust them because you know what they're aiming at. You can figure out what they're trying to do.
Yep.
At least like knowing that is better than someone who has no idea what they're doing. They're clueless. They're lost. You cannot really trust someone because they are dangerous in the sense that they do not know. They can be anywhere, really, like.
And they don't have something to ground themselves so that their mission or whatever can just keep changing.
Yeah.
And as a result, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you spend a lot of time with them, guess what? You might have a purpose that ground yourself, but you have a lot of distractions that just you might not be able to make it that much interesting or that much focus on the thing that you really want to do. So for me, focusing on bloodline-maxxing is important because if I need to look max to provide more value, I'll do that. If I need to learn certain skills like making money or whatever so that I can survive, like I can be present with my kids, then I'll do that. If I need to learn how to be present, I need to meditate, I need to make that mindfulness a practice, then I'll do that as well. If I need to learn, like whatever I need to, I will get it done. And as a result, I put this as like one of the big things because like if before you know me or like as you're knowing me, knowing that I focus on bloodline, you know that I won't be selfish because to have a strong bloodline, it takes a village to raise one kid. So I will need to focus on winning together, like success as in not just I get the individual success of like monetary gain or whatever. I don't really care about like private jets or whatever. So that does attract people that are more like-minded.
You attract people that aim towards similar or that's why as a whole you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I suppose it is just being able to look at someone and seeing their potential in the future. Like you can sort of like you know someone, right? You can project into the future, see what path they are going, the trajectory they are on. So if you see someone going downwards on a downwards trajectory, maybe try to help them. But you must see whether they want the help in the first place. If you see someone going up, then you may want to spend more time with them, talk to them, learn about their story,
figure out what is truly their motivation. Because if you don't know that, they don't know that, they don't want to think about it, you continue spending time with them, you can't really predict their trajectory. Because like you talk about trajectory, like you want to know the parameters of what they will do in their life, what direction will they move towards. It comes from character. It really comes from
The foundation of who you are as a person.
yeah.
It's like character in a story. It's like you can sort
And
of
you can
piece it all
build that.
together.
You can build that. If you are the leader in a group that has big character, you can build that up. You can tell them the importance and how fun, how fulfilling it will feel to build character, to have a mission that is way bigger than just you, than just your instant pleasure, your bodily pleasure. Because pleasure versus happiness, the difference is pleasure is current moment, the chemicals in my body.
The emotions, everything.
Yeah. Then with happiness, it's more like your heart, what you do. It doesn't necessarily feel good all the time, but it's just what you do day to day and what grounds that. What grounds your motivation. Yeah. I find it funny that we went through so many episodes, we're already talking about purpose and stuff. Although that's one of the first thing that I believe that's one of the first things that you focus on also, right? When you want to learn about
Starting with why.
how to make the most progress in self-improvement. Starting with why is one of the biggest contributors towards your current progress.
If not, you have no motivation at all.
Yeah. We took a while to reach here, but we are here.
I mean, this is being transparent, like finding people who are also transparent about where they are in life and everything. Most of the people our age, like there's a study done in America which may have be skewed or whatever, but it's the people that are our age. So like the next generation, so like teenagers right now, I think they are kind of fine. They are already like, the trajectory is slowly better with technology, and as like people get more educated, self-educated. But our generation, where we were sort of thrown into the mix with technology, everything, we are the ones that are feeling lost, depressed, anxious. All the stats are, we young adults in a sense are the ones who are more at risk. Not at risk, but dealing with these sort of feelings of emptiness, loss.
It's a deeper level of hurt that previous generation, because they are optimizing for survival or whatever,
might not feel middle ground.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of older people, like when I go to when I'm serving, there'll be people that are coming back from reservists that talk about how life is better now. You get more welfare. You get, like last time when they do guard duty or whatever, they'll get punished more. They don't get the welfare that we got now. But my answer is always like, we all have our own challenges. In Chinese, there's this saying, 家家有本难念的经. Everyone got some sort of challenges they are dealing with, something that they are facing, some hurdles that they need to cross. For us, it's a different type, in a different genre altogether. And as a result, objectively speaking, there's no right or wrong. It's just understanding there's that and see where you can help. If you cannot help, then just be there, just be present. Yeah. And I think I want to urge everyone to figure out, like really sit down, because I believe most of us that are doing something that is more aligned with our purpose right now, it just doesn't make sense that as I'm saying out loud, I want to say that I want people to figure out what their purpose is. The end result is that you get to do things that is aligned with the purpose. So it's like the immediate next step that most of us need to take. Because if you feel lost, means you need to find out the direction first. And most of us, before we find our direction, we really need to sit down and think.
That's why we've been emphasizing non-stop release for the past how many episodes. Journal, introspective, like inside work. If you don't know what you're aiming at, if you don't know where you've been, if you don't know where you are right now, then you don't know where you're aiming at. If you're aiming at, that's why you're feeling lost, right? That means you have no aim. That's the way, the language, everything.
Yeah.
I find that very fun. But so you need an aim, you need a goal, you need a vision of the future. Then from there, that's how you orientate yourself. You can find that direction.
Yeah.
If not, you're really, that's why feelings of loss, you're just focusing on the wrong thing. You don't have the right thing, vision in mind, end goal.
That's why I read some book, like, because language is set out in a way that is so intuitive, a lot of time there are recommendations to how you can figure out your next step. It's just to voice record what is your current problem. Try to articulate your problem as clearly as possible. Then you realize, through just language and logic, you realize that what you need to work on. That's why it's not just, if writing is not your thing, just voice record down and listen back. Then you'll start to observe like things like, oh, I feel lost. What does lost mean? Lost means you don't have a direction. How do I figure out what's the direction? Then you start to make sense.
So really, writing, speaking is really up to you to figure out what you want to do, what works, make it a habit. Then, because it allows you to detach from your thoughts and everything, which we know we are not our thoughts, that sort of thing. Yeah, you really want that detachment to be able to analyze and plan, strategize, whether with yourself, with people, anything.
And I can bet that most people that don't know where they're going or they have issues, if you really keep going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, it's always just they don't have direction. There's always no purpose. Like, oh, why are my relationships not working? Because they don't know what they want. Because why do they not know what they want in a partner? Because they don't know what they want in life.
Because they're just focusing on the short term. It's like if you spend all your time talking with short term people about short term things, then you will never actually find any meaning. It may be pleasurable in the present, but long term, nothing will work out because you have you're walking in circles. Maybe
So it goes with everything. Like you walk in circles. Some people they deal with friends that's causing them to walk in circles. Like, why can't I find friends, or why is it so hard to find people that are doing better? Because they don't even know what better it is to them. That's why they are not finding the right people. They are still hanging out with the people that they are used to, or could be hurting them, but they don't have alternate perspective. They only have one vision.
Their exposure to, that's why their standards are too low in a sense, and that's why me as a person, maybe your goal is to just be that person in someone else's life that raises their standards, that challenges them to think more long term. So if I'm with you, you know,
shift their paradigm.
To
make them think in so many more perspective that serve them. Yeah.
So challenge them to grow. Not everyone is, that's why on the same level. You want to help each other, like forge each other through, like sharpen each other, help people to think more long term. To them, in the short term, it may not seem beneficial, but that's why you have to think long term. You have to see the potential in others and then treat them, try to hold them to their own. That's why you have to talk to them more to figure out their standards. But try to talk to them and figure out,
Yeah. So it's like not just focusing on your own ego, but focusing on ego as a collective. Like the identity as a group will change as a result of putting in the work in finding out what we all want and focusing on the synergy between friends, between partners, between everything. Then that is when you solve a lot of the problems that now you currently have. Yeah. But if you still don't know, the call to action for this podcast is go and really figure out what's your current problem. What's your 3 biggest problem in life? Could be you cannot lose weight if you were fat like us. It could be you can't earn money. Like you're trying to start an agency, then you cannot. Like I've been there also. Like you try to start an agency, then you realize that all this work is so tough, so difficult, and earning money is so tiring. It could be just you don't know what you want. Earning money might not be. It probably is not your purpose. But you listen to all these influencers online or whatever, that became like, what your focus on, your area of focus, but it's the wrong thing. That's why you feel so burnt out. It could be other problems as well. So go and figure out what your problem is and try to. The problem, most of the time, like what Hamza say, is probably just a symptom. You need to figure out what is the core problem, and it's about finding direction.
That's why I don't feel the safest with prescribing things to people as a whole.
Except for this.
Whether it's diets and everything. It's more like, that's why I'm prescribing the diagnosis like aspect. Like, you want to diagnose properly first. If not, you're treating for the wrong thing. Yeah.
But it's always good to me, if I can prescribe something that's in a better direction than what they are currently doing, and afterwards I prescribe them with something else that help them to think with agency and stuff. I think as long as you get the momentum going, that is already beneficial. That's already impactful, rather than have to make everything perfect. So that's where it's slightly different. For me, it's just as long as you're moving towards the right direction, although it could be still degrees off whatever they really need to do, which now that we talk about it, the right thing they need to do is to figure out their issues,
Yeah.
what the core problem of the issues. I think try to make your life more meaningful, more fulfilling, feel your life to the fullest. Yeah, and
but not with the wrong things. That's why you aim at something, so like you only like filter out everything that you aim at. All the like useless noise information that isn't aligned to your that's why your vision, your goals. That's why you want to set them. If not, everything will you just listen to everything.
That's why based on language, I said fulfill your life. I didn't say fulfill your ego, which is like your superficial desires and things that are just filled by others also. So really figure out what does life mean to you, then go and actually do the work. Do work as in like not the negative connotator or have just grunt work, but more like just do the actions.
A lot of the times is the inner work that people actually is like focus on the outwards. People, if you have the time to do that, focus on your inwards. Like that will have much more like spread through your life.
And guess what? We could be totally wrong for this entire episode. Whatever we talk about got totally zero utility in anyone's life. But at least we think that is something that is impactful, that get you thinking about what you need to do.
I mean, the thing is that audience fit. So if our goals are somewhat aligned to yours, and we have and we have similar goals, then we can share what problems we solve along the way to our goal. And we can rise together and share that. So that's why people you listen to, you want people who have similar goals. That's the main thing.
I think this episode, the message is very strong, very impactful. And I hope you guys have been taking notes, because as I'm talking and listening, I'm also like noting. I have like a full page of like notes. I hope this has been useful. And any other last message or just ask? I think we just want you to subscribe, because we need more subscribers.
Oh yeah, we
need your support.
Comment down any feedback you have about the podcast. Because feedback helps us grow and everything. Right now we don't have any sponsorship, so this sort of if we are gonna put in segments to the video, is just asking for feedback, honest feedback, so that we can actually improve. Without feedback, we do not know what you liked, what you didn't like, and then we don't know what to correct. So we're sort of aimless in a sense, because you need constant feedback and input to sort of realign you to our vision.
We want to integrate our mission with the best way to provide value and to you guys. That's why you guys need to give some input so that we can do the integration part.
Because it's all for you, so we want to make it better for you. And if you don't know what is better for you, then there's something. So please leave a comment and a like and a subscribe. This is gonna be so.
I mean, the thing is, our audience, like you stay through here, that is already like a crazy. Like no one, you're probably like in the top 5% of people that can actually stay through to this part of the video.
Or you actually, that's why you find utility in the things that we are sharing, which is great to us, because that's our purpose, right? We want to help you.
And we are deeply grateful that you put in the work on like trying to improve yourself. Because if you don't want to improve yourself, whatever you say got no value also. We can't make any impact if you don't want to improve yourself. So we want to thank you for that. And see you guys in next week's episode.
Yes. See you.
Bye.